But Gary says, whoop, you can't see it, but he says in chapter 6, a disciplined life is a lie. However, if you read the chapter, like we should be doing, what he's saying is that living a disciplined life is a lie, but needing discipline to start a habit is truth. So Matt said, I need to get more disciplined with my eating and my exercise. So I'm going to implement a 66-day habit challenge. And now, according to Matt, it's no longer discipline, it's automatic and it's a lifestyle, right? So guys, when we say we need to get more disciplined, no, when you want to make a change, you need to say, I need to use discipline to create a habit for 66 days around this one thing I want to change. And the more you do that habit every single day and you build it for 66 days for it to become a habit, then it becomes less about being disciplined and more about a lifestyle. So it does require discipline, like Matt said, to create the habit. But once you create that habit, it becomes a lifestyle.
And Matt, I will say too that I will say that my business, I'm not actually totally directly working on the business every moment, you know, as I should be, but the where I'm at in my own personal journey and discipline has actually produced more business for me. It's almost like the universe and your clients know that you are succeeding in whatever you're doing, right? Whatever that is. I mean, if your goal is to wake up at 5 every day or whatever it is, but like the universe, you translate it out into the universe. So start with something very personal to yourself, even if it's not a business related item, right? And then you'll see that spill over into your business.
Absolutely. Matt, that is so awesome. We are a team together. Raise your hand if you think we're a team. We are a team together. We're all individual agents. We're all running our individual business. But can we say right now that we are now the team? We are the Limitless morning team. One big team, one big jersey. That's right, Rita. We're the Limitless morning team. And we get together and we huddle up and we get our minds right to move forward for the day. And we help each other. We support each other. We love one another and we hold each other accountable. Joanne says, I call it my Southwest Florida peeps. And Joanne is going to be at family reunion. So she's excited to meet everybody in Southwest Florida that gets on this call. All right. So we're going to huddle up every morning, Monday through Thursday, Matt, Steve, so that we can all get fed correctly. All right. We've got 6 minutes left before 9 o'clock. And so I do want to start down on the journey of this balanced life. So here's the thing. If you have not read any of the one thing while we've been doing this, if you've not listened to it, if you have, I love it. Awesome. That's great. And if you haven't, that's okay too. But here's what I am going to ask you to do. Open up the book if you haven't and read chapter 6, starting on page 54. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one because I went to a disciplined life when Matt was talking about that. Sorry. Page 72, chapter 8. Page 72, chapter 8. A balanced life. You guys, if you would read this, we're going to spend a lot of time on this because Gary talks about a balanced life is a lie. And not only does he just talk about it, he shows actual empirical data. Amy Gray, you have your hand raised, honey. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know what it's doing.
That's okay. All right. Just want to make sure. I don't want to miss anybody. He actually cites real empirical data where it does show that a balanced life is a lie, right? And it's interesting because I want to read this to you. That is in this book. It's in the very beginning. And it says, listen to this. Nothing ever achieves absolute balance. Nothing ever achieves absolute balance. Nothing. Nothing. No matter how imperceptible it might be, what appears to be in a state of balance is something entirely different. It's actually an act of balancing, right? So when we see things and we say, oh, that's imbalance or it's balanced, it's not that it's balanced, it's in an act of balancing. So it's constantly doing this. It's constantly doing this. Well, if this is work and this is life, personal life, and it's in an act of balancing, then sometimes it's more work, sometimes it's more personal, sometimes it's more work, sometimes it's more personal, and it does this. And I'm not going to get into the chapter because I really, really want you guys to read it, but I'm going to leave you with this. Last night, I was watching golf. Of course, my husband and I, it's every night. It's on the Golf Channel. And we were watching this documentary on Jack Nicklaus, who I think is probably one of the most mentally tough people out there, even more so than Tiger Woods, because he was mentally tough in all areas of his life, where Tiger had a few challenges in some other areas, right? Which is okay, because Lord knows I'm not the pot calling kettle black. I've had challenges in many areas of my life. But Jack seems to be someone that in all the areas of his life, he was pretty balanced, or he was pretty mentally tough, excuse me. And so we were watching this, and it was on his majors. He won 18 majors. And one of the parts of this thing, this documentary, showed how Jack would play a tournament. He would play a Thursday. He would play Friday. How many of you know that a golf tournament is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? He would play Thursday. He would play Friday. Friday afternoon, he would get on a plane and he would fly to his kids' baseball tournament, football tournament, his daughter's cheerleading, whatever it was, he would go there, and then he would fly back for the Saturday morning tee off, and he won many majors doing that. Now, when they asked his children what they remember, his children are like, my dad was always there. He was always there. He was there for all of it. Our games, he was always there. And George Bush got on and he said, you know, Jack Nicklaus is one of the examples of someone who had a balanced life. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you think he spent more time practicing golf and on the golf course playing golf than he did with his children? Or did he spend more time with his children and less time practicing golf and playing golf? Which do you think he spent more time doing? It's not a trick question.
I would think that he spent more time playing golf, but he counterbalanced that with important time with his family that mattered.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I kind of like that analogy. You know, those little pogo, I think that's what they used to be, a pogo stick or something, not pogo stick, but the other ones that you balance on the little ball there.
Yep.
But I love that because you're kind of swinging on the balance. You're keeping your balance. It's not balanced time. It's you balancing yourself between each task. So I think the big thing too, like you could say is, if you do have that sports game at 6 o'clock on Friday, you say, I have an appointment at 6 p.m. They don't need to know what the appointment's for.
That's
and
right.
You go to your appointment and you're kind of balancing yourself out. The other is a balance, making yourself say, my mind and time must be completely evenly balanced, which is not possible.
It's not possible.
But if you're balancing side to side,
it's
then
counterbalancing.
You're actually keeping yourself balanced from swinging from one side all the way to the other. So I like that analogy you had. That was pretty cool.
So here's the thing, guys. Thank you, Matt. So here's the thing. This book is about counterbalancing, because Jack, for all of his career, if you look at 100% of his time, he probably spent 70% of his time on the golf course, practicing, playing, instruction, whatever it was he was doing. And he probably spent 30% of the time with his family. But here's why his kids felt like he was always there, because he spent the most important time. So when I hear people say, you know, I need more of a balanced life, I'm not spending enough time with my kids, my life is out of balance. Well, it's out of balance, and it will always be out of balance, because when you're focusing on one thing, you're not focusing on the other. So you're out of balance. But what happens is that we forget that if we spend our focus time on the most important things when we're doing our business, that allows us to spend focus time on the more important things with our children, or our husbands, or our wives, or our girlfriends and boyfriends, or special people, or significant others. I was having dinner last night with a self-made, I would say, probably very wealthy man. I don't know how much money he has, but he's self-made. My husband and I were having dinner with him and his wife last night. And one of the things he said to me, he's probably getting close to 50 years old. And he said to me, he said, you know, he said, I don't spend time doing these things with other people anymore because I have enough friends in my life. I am focused on my business, and then I leave my business with my business, and I come home and I am focused on my family. So here's the thing, guys, that's not a balanced life. Because if you focus on your business and you come home at 5 o'clock and the kids are in bed by 8 o'clock, you get 3 hours with your children. But is it focus time with your children so that they know they are the only ones that matter? And you've done what you needed to do in your business so that the time you're spending elsewhere is focused. It's a discipline that you have to create a habit around, so then it becomes a lifestyle. Right? All right, we're going to dig into that, because I believe that for many of you that are having a challenge, there's many of you on this call or listening, or that I talk to throughout the day, that there's this guilt that rides with you about how you spend your time, and time taken away from your kids and different things like that. And I really believe that this chapter is going to help you. It's going to help you see things differently, so that you really get real on your areas of focus. So please, if you would, read chapter 8. We're going to start digging into it tomorrow. It is page 72. We're going to spend some time talking about it. I'd love for you to read it, primarily too, because you can bring something to the table to this group. So this is a huddle. We're a team, right? So a team participates together. So let's participate together tomorrow in this conversation around a balanced life, and let's help each other through it. I love you guys. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Go focus on your lead gen. Don't get on Facebook. Yeah, Matt, don't get on Facebook. Don't get on email. Don't do all those things that are going to distract you. Amanda, you're allowed to sleep. Okay. Take care of your kiddos, but everybody else, go do your one thing, get it done by 11 o'clock, noon, check the box. You're done. You move on for the rest of the day. Love you guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye.